I feel like this happens to me every single time. The games that I care the most about, the games that I'm the most passionate about, and the games that I have the most fun with are also the games that just absolutely frustrate me the most. Now that has some more and less obvious reasons. Obviously, if you care a lot about something, you care more about it being good. That makes you notice all the flaws the game has and makes you desperate to have those problems fixed. But also just spending too much time playing the same game can hurt your enjoyment of a title in the long run. Frustration based on burnout. And this frustration that I've been experiencing lately has also had an effect on me making videos. I mean, one of my more recent videos is literally dedicated to talking about problems I don't think will ever be fixed. And my most recent video was originally based on me just saying fuck everyone else and just doing whatever I want. I have reached a point where I'm having severe trouble practicing what I preach. Things like staying positive in voice chat or staying in voice chat at all. Whenever I play privately on my old account, I just mute any form of communication, insta-lock my hero, and stop giving the slightest fuck about anything anyone else has to say. Because honestly, the top reason for my frustration comes from that exact thing that I brought up first in my previously mentioned video. It is what I referred to as the RNG factor. The fact that with the way Overwatch is designed, it is impossible to create a consistent gameplay experience. I can't queue up for a night of ranked expecting my teammates to be roughly on the same skill as me. Now, before we get any further, this video is literally just me venting and complaining, and I would love for all of us to do that down in the comment section together. Just drop by and tell us what frustrates you the most recently. Do try to stay civil, however. So if you don't want to listen to me venting for the next however many minutes this video ends up being, you might really want to tune out now. Now let me tell you what happened yesterday when I decided to stream on my Twitch account. I had a blast. The first matches I played were really fun. My teammates knew what they were doing and I could really shine with what I am good at. Having teams that back each other up to make sure everyone can pull their weight is an amazing experience, and that's what I love Overwatch for. And I had so much trouble with getting any sort of win streak as of recently, and that on both accounts. Whenever I won 2 or 3 games, I would lose at least 1. I wasn't shy of losing streaks either. Now I turn on my stream and we started with a 4-game winning streak. That's amazing. And of course, it would not last. What followed was pretty much the exact opposite of what I started off with. Let me paint the picture for just one of these matches. We were up against a really well-coordinated 3-stack playing Winston, D.Va, and something else I can't remember, and it really doesn't matter for the purpose of the story. But know that they also had a Pharah. Since nobody picked up hitscan, I took it upon myself to do right that. I mean, we had a good start into the game with someone bitching about my Zen pick, and I tried to explain that Ana made no sense with what the enemies were running into us. Their comp would quite literally just walk into us, kill our supports, and back out again. Nobody did anything to stop them. So the problem to me was obvious. We didn't punish their plays. We didn't have anything to immediately fire back with. It was not so much that we lacked healing, it was just that we lacked damage. Well, once I went soldier the next round and we also had a McCree to do with a Pharah, the enemies did the only thing that made sense. Their Winston D.Va combo would always jump in our faces, our team would split, the bubble would block all of our bullets, and D.Va would eat everything that Winston's shield could not cover. And they just kept doing that. We go in, they dive, we split, they soak out damage, and we eventually get killed because our team was in freaking Narnia doing research on how to be useless in a video game. When I proposed to run a Zarya to shut down the D.Va that soaked all of our damage, nobody listened. And we proceed to get absolutely shit-stomped while our teammates proceed to say shit like, how do we have 2 hit scans and their Pharah isn't dying? And I feel like this match in particular just shows perfectly what has been wrong with my gameplay experience as of recently. Now here's a disclaimer, I did this to myself. My account was nearing Masters rank in 3.4k. I even already started playing with other Masters. My MMR on that account was on a good way. But then I decided to stream for 7 hours straight, be tilted almost non-stop, and lose almost every single match together with about 500 SR. Obviously, if you lose so many games in a row and perform so poorly because you're tilted, the game will just assume that you're shit, and that rightfully so. Now I'm struggling with getting my rank back up because even when I do my hardest to carry, my MMR just doesn't follow suit quickly enough. I mean, I have games where I even collect all the gold medals that Jeff loves so much and really give it my all to carry, and I'm still rewarded anywhere from 16 to 23 points, and that on a win streak. While the losing streak that I got that same night started off with 30 and ended up costing me 56 SR per loss. In a 6-game losing streak that I honestly couldn't have prevented unless my name is Shadowburn, I got punched down from 3,304 to 3,123 on stream. Add another couple losses against the same hacker later that night off stream, and one more loss because I was tilted, reason being the aforementioned hacker I ran into twice, and I find myself in 3,019. Again, mostly playing matches I couldn't have carried any harder than I already did. And again, it took me saying fuck all of you, leaving voice chat and playing Symmetra only to go on a 4-game win streak to only see 3,000 1092 as my reward. We're talking 16 SR a win, 21 if I'm on a win streak. This is just really frustrating. I have talked about how a player will never be more than one division away from where they belong, and I still stand by that. I've been trying to get GM on my main, but I get the exact same problem there. With that said, sure, while I do complain about the lack of consistency when it comes to matchmaking, I am not audacious enough to claim that I am a GM player. Because if I was a GM player, then I would have no problem getting my ult into Masters. However, there is a difference between just touching GM and playing in the lower range of it and getting balls deep in there. I am confident enough that I can support a GM team, but I'm not confident enough that I'm good enough to dabble with players any higher than 4.2k. And honestly, it's more about just wanting to have touched Grandmaster so I get my end of season rewards. Or at least so I thought. I said it before and I'll say it again, the games at the start of the season where I played with top 500s and GMs were the most fun I ever had in Overwatch. And of course, I would love to have that back. I would have no problem just fluctuating between 4k and 4.1k until I get better. If that means I get to play with other Grandmasters and have a more consistent gameplay experience. But instead, I get GM players on their Smurf accounts playing Bastion only. I get really young teammates who seemingly have a lot of time to play video games and somehow manage to one-trick their way into Masters, who then tilt the moment something doesn't go their way. I lost count of the amount of games people decide to throw in high Masters only because we were not obviously stomping the enemies in the first 40 seconds of the game. It's ridiculous how whiny some of these players are, and well, here I am whining about that exact same shit. And I can understand where all this cynicism comes from. I understand why other masters and grandmasters say that this is a shit rank, because honestly, it very often feels like it. So right now I'm sitting on my main account where I'm dealing with GM smurfs who throw, and children who throw, or just really dumb fucking adults who throw for the stupidest fucking reasons. And I also sit on my old account where I get frustrated with my teammates for not only not knowing very basic things about the game, but also making really dumb misplays. The amount of players trying to flank all on their own is ridiculous. I lost count of how many games I lost solemnly based on nobody wanting to swap or not swapping to the right things. Obviously, for me it is easy to say that the right thing to do is obvious because I've gotten way past that rank on my main already. But I still can't fathom how somebody can spend hundreds of hours playing rank, never progress past Diamond, and while being in Diamond never learn the most basic things about the game. And while streaming on my old account, I obviously try to be a good role model, so to speak. I try to take roles that are more difficult. I try to fill for my team, and I just try to be a good teammate in general. But I have far more success just saying fuck all of you, leaving voice chat and insta-locking Symmetra on attack. I just don't find it fun anymore. I shouldn't have to carry every single match for me to win. I shouldn't have to get a 6k in every engagement for my team to have any chance for victory. And even when I pick up my mains along the lines of Symmetra and Zenyatta, sure, I win the majority of my games according to my win percentage, but it still leaves this bitter aftertaste. I'm not enjoying having to carry every single match. And even if I do, evidently I do not have a 100% win rate on my mains. There's only so much you can do when you're only 500 SR away from your main when it comes to carrying. And all this is not just about my inability to rank up, because at this point in time I value a good game experience over my rating. I don't enjoy stomping low diamonds when I'm playing a high master Zenyatta. I enjoy playing other heroes that I do play at diamond level, but apparently playing at diamond level is not enough to consistently win a diamond. Because somehow the well-coordinated teams that I could see end up in masters are always on the enemy team, while the players who one-trick their way up and don't know anything about the game are on my team. And obviously this is where the basic principle of negative experiences burning themselves into your brain more takes action. I'm sure that I played plenty of matches that were really pleasant, but the majority of my losses are so aggravating because we lose for really dumb reasons, and I just can't not get frustrated. Now listen, I know that to a fair bunch of you this is just meaningless whining, and I can understand that. If I watched a video like that, I would probably think the same way. But sometimes it is good to just vent and let out your frustration before you go off on somebody on voice chat, or before you just spend half your stream complaining about your team. Here's what happened. I went Pharah, and they only had Soldier to contest me. Our Winston is like somewhere in God knows fucking which country doing research. Meanwhile, the Soldier and I just like dance around each other with just like, if Winston jumps me, he's dead. Straight up fucking dead. So I can't go in. My team goes in without me like the retards that they are. And we have a Widowmaker who never saw the Pharah even once. I'm like, how the fuck do you exist? She played Widow this entire attack round and killed Pharah not a single time. She was uncontested. This frustrates me, dude. This really frustrates me. Like, how much do we lose for this? 37. We just lost all the points we got from the last one. Like, this is so fucking dumb. Oh my god. People don't... Why do you play roles you don't understand? What do you play Winston for if you never... I even said, just dive the soldier and we win, and he's like fucking Narnia. So again, I encourage you to let it all out down in the comment section below. This video shall inherit the collective anger and frustration of our community. Let it all out and let it out for good so we can go into our next matches with a clear state of mind. I know this video is pointless and just me venting and whining like a bitch, but hey, at the end of the day, this is still my channel, so I can upload whatever the fuck I want. I hope that me venting openly like this just helps me putting aside my anger for a while, and maybe I'll go pick another game to play in my spare time to relax. If you guys have any suggestions for other games that I should be playing, then tweet at me at Terios Gaming. Anyway, this is me done for the day as I whine like a little bitch about why matchmaking feels broken. If you suffered through the entirety of this video, do let me know by dropping me a like on your way out. Do feel free to check out some of my other videos which actually have a point to them, and if you like them, feel free to subscribe, I guess. I wish you guys best of luck in your ranked matches, and I hope to see you all next time.
Double kill. Turret was destroyed. Double kill.